A very warm welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are well. I've got a little bit of a Monday night treat for you. Not the Monday night football, Monday night treat. I've just made that up. I hope you are all well. Welcome back. I'm delighted to say tonight I'm joined by former West Ham Academy goalkeeper and just general legends, Joe Sealey. How are you, mate?
Thank you very much. First time I've ever been known as a Monday night treat. I'm happy.
Is that the first time? I'm surprised. You know? Never happened before?
It's nice to be a treat for someone, yeah.
Thank you very much indeed for joining, mate. I haven't spoken to you on air for a while. We said that we spoke about that before we came on. I've changed a lot. You're just as young and youthful.
I don't know about that. My knees don't feel it, and I'm going a bit greyer here, but I'm trying my best to keep going. I'm 41 now, so I wish I was your age again.
Well, I have to say, you looked pretty decent at the charity match back in May. You've moved around quite nicely. I thought, time's on your side, Joe.
They put me at right back and not in goal, didn't they? So it was never going to be my best performance. I don't think I've ever been an outfield player. I mean, after the game, the players were going to me, "I've never seen you play on pitch." I said, "I don't think I ever have."
First time for everything.
New experience, yeah.
First time for everything, absolutely. And to everyone joining us live, Sharky, I hope you are well. So we spoke to you before about your career, so I'm not going to go into that in too much depth. But I mean, when people think of the name Sealey, it's attached with West Ham, isn't it? Was there always an inevitability about you getting into football?
I don't know about that. I think it was the only thing that I suppose you could say. That's 3 generations of my family have played for West Ham. I think it was something I always wanted to do. Obviously, I was brought up into it because my dad was Les Sealey, the goalkeeper. So it was always around me. Players were always around me. I never grew up wanting to be a fireman or in the army or anything else. I just wanted to play football. It's a choice.
Yeah, and that sort of that soul-driven drive, got you, got you in there. I mean, there was some brilliant players at West Ham whilst you were there. How enjoyable was that experience for you?
I mean, a lot of it when I was injured, it wasn't enjoyable, but because ultimately my injury finished my career. But I mean, that group of players from that time, I'm still friends with. We're still on a WhatsApp group together. We still see each other probably once a year. We communicate, and it was a great camaraderie because I think back then as well, football was different. It was, I signed in 1999 and I left in 2002 when finally my injury finished me. And football was different at the time. We all trained at Chad Belief, whether you were 16 years old or you was in the first team. So there was only 3 changing rooms, 1 canteen, 1 boot room, 1 kit room. 1 gym. You mixed together. It was a very close knit club.
Yeah, and really cohesive with everybody there, and that's interesting and sort of how closely knit it was. So I mean, and even now, as you said, to this day, still keeping in contact. Do you think that sort of sums up and epitomises the culture around the club at that time? Yeah,
I think it does. I think a lot of the lads were East London at the time. There was a few, obviously, from Michael Carrick come down, but. And we had a couple from Italy and a couple from Australia, but majority of the lads had been there together since the age of 12, 13 years old. And you stick together in East London, don't you? And you stick together at West Ham. It was about, we're West Ham United and we don't get beat by anyone. When you come through that academy, because we won the Youth Cup and all of that. I was 1 year below that, but I was involved in that group. And I think winning things and lots of people getting pro contracts and coming through together also moulded that group of men to always be together. And I think when you spend so much time together, day in, day out, with people for so many years, as I said, some from being 12 years old, you're going to be lifelong friends.
Yeah, and it becomes second nature. It becomes life. I mean, footballers, and that's their life. And you've just got to embrace it in that scenario, haven't you?
I think if you don't make it your life, you won't be a footballer.
Yeah.
Especially at the top level. If you want to play top level, everything, your whole life has to be about it. What you eat, what you do, where you go, what time you go to sleep, the people you see. And I think eventually, and it's not because you're working together, I think your friends at 16 years old have their path and they're going to the pub and going out, and there's 15 of you lot that don't do that, you're gonna end up sticking together because you're doing the same things when other people are being teenagers. But football, I always say to everyone, look, football is a tough life, but it's no tougher than any other job. It's just a bit tougher when you're a bit younger. You know, you get released and stuff, but you can get sacked in your job when you're in your 20s, but it's just earlier. You know, it's not different. You've got to do your best every day.
Absolutely. And it's those, setbacks that players face in careers, and, the part and parcel of it. And it sort of makes or breaks players at times as well. How tough is it being in that climate? And I mean, as a youngster, you're right, most go out, get smashed and have a good time, but that's not something you can do,
No, it's not. But do you know what, for me, there's two answers to what you just said. I never thought about going out. I think when you want to do it, it isn't an effort. You want to do it. It's a privilege to get up every day and play football. Yeah. And you have to remember that. You're not going out and working in a chicken factory plucking chickens. You're getting up every day and getting to do what you love, if you love it. The ones that don't do that don't love it, because you would choose it. Yeah. But the other thing is, like, for example, I was injured. I was out once for 12 months in my first year, and going in every day and training, or when everyone's training, you're just having treatment and you're in the gym and you've got to be there all day and everyone's working hard and you're not, isn't easy mentally. It's hard because you don't want to be the one in the physio room. You want to be playing football. Yeah.
And, as difficult as that is, how psychologically, straining through that time is it? I mean, you've had injuries in your career, and it's just something you've got to adapt to. And as infuriating, as frustrating as it is, it's relatively out of your control. How did you try and cope with that as best as you could?
Well, I think you concentrate on what you've got coming up. So there's always, like, mine was a long one. I mean, I had a big operation and my shoulder fully reconstructed, and I had body suits that I had to wear for 24 hours a day for 3 months, and then getting my movement back. So you've got little targets, like get the suit off, then get the movement back. Oh, look, I can start doing some weights. I've got to build the muscles up again because my whole body, top half of my body had wasted away really from that injury. And I think you have to concentrate on what you've got. And then I knew I was missing the whole season. So then you're concentrating on the next season during that summer. So I would come in and train every day when the lads are off, and stuff like that. And it's just focusing on what you positives you've got in your life, whether that's your family, your girlfriend at the time, your kids, or it depends how old you are. You've got to focus on what's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see who else is joining us in the chat. Best behaviour, Joe. That Tracy's in. Best behaviour tonight.
Always on my best behaviour for Tracy.
Very good. Very good indeed. Graver, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Lots of sacrifices there are. And that's part and parcel of it. That's a compliment you didn't think you'd get tonight. Joe has the best Instagram pages. Do you know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this once, right? If I'm down there and he puts on your videos, he is laughing incessantly, right?
Yeah. It's not the most professional of Instagram. I want to put up. I mean, I get in trouble sometimes, or my management calls me and goes, "You need to be talking about this." I'm not talking about that. I'll talk about whatever I think's funny, or whatever my wife's done to me most of the time.
Well, that is the main topic of humour, and they are funny.
Real life. It's real life.
It is absolutely. Striker's got a question. He says, can you ask Joe if you only want to play in goal, or do you like to play in other positions on the pitch, Joe?
I started playing out on pitch when I was about 9. I lasted about 1.5 years, and then I went in goal, and I loved playing in goal. I still love it now if I play in charity games and I get the chance to play in goal. My body don't recover as much as it used to. I just like the battle. That's all I can think about. It completely takes over my brain. I can't play five-a-side with people that for fun. I can't do any of it for fun. I have to win. I literally want to destroy people when I'm playing football. I can't help it. I just love it. I love that feeling inside playing in goal. I love getting someone. I like someone kicking me. I can't help it. Maybe it's not normal, but maybe goalkeepers are not normal. But, I don't like getting kicked in any other part of my life. But you put me on a football pitch and kick me all day long.
There we go. There we go. Tracy says, we're going to see a lot of Joe on TV this week. Absolutely. We're going to talk about that in just a second. She also follows that with a rather more blunt message saying how he is still alive is beyond me with this metaphor.
Well, The truth of that is, for 6 months, she never saw it.
Oh, right.
Because I did it on TikTok and she's not on TikTok. And then I was in the Trafford Centre because I live in the north, and a woman walked up to me and slapped me.
What?
I swear to you, this woman walked up to me and slapped me. And she said, "I'll give you effing menopause, man." Right? And she looked at me and then she went, "What's that about?" So I told her, and then someone started showing her in the hairdressers. And I think if people, there wouldn't have been so many positive comments on about it or people talking about it, I think that would have been taken down and she would have went mental. Because I think she saw the humour in it, it carried on. But she doesn't see them all. I'm going to be honest with you. She doesn't.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. and my wife's only 5'1". I'm 6'3". I've got longer legs than her and I'm faster than her. She can't catch me. And I sleep with one eye open.
You're prepared for all scenarios. I love it. I love it. There is no filter, and that's life, isn't it?
I say to her, if you don't do it, I won't talk about it. So that's fair, isn't it? If she does it and I talk about it, that's her fault.
Yeah, if it impacts your life, and
It's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It's fine.
Of course. I don't think Tracy's particularly amused, but we're going to go with it anyway.
It might not be the right attitude really to win in life, but it's what I'm about. It's what's going on.
We're going to talk about DT38 now. You're a trustee, I believe. I am a youth ambassador. I don't know what trustee means, but it sounds very important, Joe. So explain your role to us.
Well, my role really is, I was there at the start of it, and it's to help Tracy with the governance of the charity ideas or whatever she's got going on. I just try to, whether or not it's the right response, I try to be there as much as I can to support her and what she wants to do. And if she wants to bounce ideas, I'm here for that, whatever she needs. It's a really important thing to me. It's really important that man, that Dylan, is never forgotten. I mean, it's probably one of my main goals in life, probably the remainder of my life, because he was so special that, for me, he can't be forgotten.
No, absolutely. And you've spoken at length before about the impact that he had on you and how important he was for so many people, and how imperative it is that he never gets forgotten, and the work that the charity does embraces that and ensures that doesn't happen, doesn't it?
Well, I think it's important that what the message is that check yourself, get tested, you save lives. I mean, it's pretty clear, isn't it? I mean, what's more important than that?
Yeah,
exactly. He was an incredible player and an even better human being, when it happened to him. He wasn't out abusing himself or drinking or doing the things that people do at 16, 17 years old. He was playing at the highest level that you can play at, living the best way you can live, with a loving family around him. It shouldn't have happened.
And it was this, it was the similar love for football that you had, that Dylan had, which caught everybody's attention. And if you speak to Big Sam, he's spoken about him and said how good of a player he was, and what a player he could have been. And it's just, it's tragic, and it's it's horrible, but it's the legacy that's left and that's continued on by the work that everybody does, which is so important. Now this week, I believe the trailer has been released. I saw your face pop up on there, on the documentary, actually, as well. On their little description, your line was what they put on it. So
I noticed that. I was pleased with that. It was true. It was true. He was being built to be the face of Australian football, is what we were all talking about all of the time. I think that what you said about Dylan before is true. His affectionate for the game, but it wasn't just that. Everything he did, he was good at, and everything he did, he made you want to do. Like he had me, playing bowling on a Thursday night in a team with his mum and dad, his brother. And I'm not good at bowling, but he'd always want me there on a Thursday to play bowling, and your golf or table tennis. His brother used to play on a little table in the back of their front room, and I'd be there, and I'm his agent, and I'm playing table tennis with the two brothers. I just love spending time with him. Yeah. And this documentary, I think, has been long in the making, because if it wouldn't, if I believe, and I think a lot of people believe, if it didn't happen to him, you'd be talking about something completely different. And I believe you'd be talking about probably one of the world's best players at some point in the last 10 years. And he would have been playing in the Champions League. I mean, I'm pretty sure about that. So the fact that this is being done, I think, shows that, you know, he's not being forgotten and he's never going to be forgotten. And what the ability he had, and also his journey to get the ability he had. He's a natural born world-class player, isn't he? Because he's come from playing in Australia to Macau, where, you know, I know his dad is a very good coach, but he ain't had the coaching that all these kids have had. He suddenly lands here and he's the best player in the country within 2 years, which is what happened. And I can't tell people, I tell people all the time, you do not realise how good he was. I describe him as a player. I used to describe him at the time to people as, you might be a bit young, but I'm sure you remember the film Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Neo, when he used to be able to slow things down. I used to watch him on the pitch and think, I don't know how he's done that. And it's like he's got 20 seconds on the ball when everyone else has got 2.
Yeah.
And it's like he slowed it down, he saw it, and he had everything. You could have put him, I think, you could have played him centre-back and he would have been the best cultured centre-back in that team. You put him up front, you play him on the wing, you play him as a 10, you can play him in midfield. He was superb to watch. He was a pleasure to watch. And the people that played with him are lucky to have played with a player as graceful and as good as him.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And, you know, everybody that's spoken about, just like, not even him as a person, that's you know, that reinforces it even more, but the quality that he had. And, you know, everybody's going to speak on the documentary. You know, Martin Noble was featured in it. Karen Brady from upstairs at West Ham as well was featured in it. And it's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to watching it. It comes out on Wednesday. It's an hour long, released on Wednesday. Premier League story shown on Prime, so that's where we can all see it on Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to seeing that, because from the 2-minute clip that we've seen, I'm sure you've watched it, Joe. I haven't, but I
haven't seen it. You
haven't seen it, so we'll all be watching it. So you've done your bit of it, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward, and hopefully everybody that sees it is inspired and does the right thing and tries to do their bit, whether it's to help the charity or just simply to check themselves and prevent anything else happening, and yeah, get yourself checked, because it's really because, you know, it's really vitally important. Yeah, I mean, Joe, just the way you spoke about him as a player there, and then as a person as well, just amazing.
Well, the fact of it is, I changed my career because of it. So, you know, I ended up selling the business on the back of what happened to me, because I could not do it anymore. You know, because it was such a, there's not a word that can describe what it was. There's not a word that can describe it. But, you know, shame ain't the word. It's just so horrific for someone as good as him. Not as good as him as a player, as a person.
Absolutely.
I couldn't carry on doing the job I was doing.
No, and just a tragic story, and you know, your emotion and care for it is felt, Joe. It really is. Now, sticking on the subject of DT38. Now, I've seen, Joe, you've been trying your hand with golf recently, right?
Oh, yeah, once, yeah.
And as you well know, there's an annual DT38 golf day, right?
Yeah.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'll be there next year.
I've got a few. I mean, I can go and play. I played 9 holes for the first time on Saturday, and inconsistency is the word of my 9 holes on Saturday. Let me tell you that.
See,
the longer it goes on, the longer it went on, the worse I got.
See, the boss has spoken. I hope Joe will be at the DT38 golf day next year.
No, but there's some good golfers at them days. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a good golfer.
No, it's, you know, it's available for people of all golfing abilities, Joe. And, you know, if you get up with it, you never know, you might win it next year.
I know. Well, I don't know about that. I don't think I'll ever get to that level. I don't think it's in me, golf. I do enjoy it. I used to play with Dylan a lot. I never played golf, and then Dylan got me playing golf. with his dad Jim and his brother Taylor, and then I didn't really play golf afterwards that much either, to be honest with you. And then I played again this week.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Terry, thanks very much indeed for joining us. See, people will pay to be on your team, Joe. And Joe,
I think they might pay not to be on my team, but that's all. If you raise some money, it's fine.
Pay not to be on Joe Sealey's team. Well, I'll pay to walk around with you and watch it and film it for it, Joe. How about that? That's going to get views, right? That's going to get views.
You've got a deal.
Job done. Job done. Let's turn to some current affairs now. I mean, both of your, both the clubs you have slight allegiances to, it's not going too well, Joe, is it? So we'll do this briefly. West Ham, Manchester United, they're both as bad as each other, Joe, aren't they?
I mean, when are they playing each other? That's the question, isn't it?
Next couple of weeks' time. 26th of October.
4-4 draw.
0-0 draw.
Yeah, 0-0 draw, yeah. I mean, where do you want to start on that?
Yeah, I mean, Man United first, and then we'll have a little chat about West Ham. I mean, Man United.
I think Man United's. I think Man United. Did you watch the game against Spurs on yesterday? You saw it. I mean, I think the depth problem. The problem is so deep, and I think the problem is you sign people like DeLitt, for example, who's a great player, right? But is there any difference between him and Harry Maguire? Is there any difference? You know, you sign an Onana because you want a ball playing goalkeeper. Now, not everyone agrees with me on this. David De Gea is a better goalkeeper than Onana as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So I want a goalie that stops the ball hitting the net, and I want a goalie that I can't believe he saved that. Now, I'm not saying he can save the ball yesterday, but he doesn't even die for two. Now, I got brought up playing to being told if you don't dive, you'll never save it.
No.
I mean, you've got no chance. So it's just stuff like that when I watch and I go, I don't know why he's come in. I don't know why he's come in. He plays with a big one up front and he plays with two inverted wingers that never cross the ball. So I think the problems there are depth. And, you know, I'm not one of them that thinks change the manager, but I have started to think change the manager at Man United. And I think the problems will keep going on. And I think the problem, look, maybe the problem is that as Man United supporters or Man United supporters, think before every game, we all think back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, where they won most of the time. You still thinking you're Man United are going to win. I do. And then it starts and you go, oh no, they're not going to win. No. it's the new team. And I think, you know, it's like that. And it happened to Liverpool, you know, for a long time. And, you know, the size of that club and the money they can spend, eventually it will come round because ultimately money talks in football eventually. And whether it's 20 years or 10 years or 5, I think it won't be quicker than 5. I think there's a big rebuild there still. It'll be okay. You know, they're Man United. So, you know, the size of the club, it's a different thing.
Yeah, I think West Ham.
When's David Moyes coming back?
We'll go on to that in just a second. In fact, I think Gary Neville's sort of I mean, it wasn't even a co-commentary stint yesterday. It was more of just a rant, wasn't it? Like he was just he wanted to go home, didn't he? Like it was. I just
watch it and I go like Van der Vet, great goal, right? First goal, what a run! But how does he run from the edge of their box without a tackle? And then you go, well, why didn't we sign him? He's quick, got power, he outruns everyone. You know, he was available, Ange got him, which is great. And then you go, like, you know, I shouldn't do this really, what I'm saying, but it is true. Martinez. I like Martinez, but he makes the mistake on the halfway line where he dives in for the ball. But in the history of the Premier League, you tell me a centre-back that's under 6 foot that's played most weeks and they've won the league or the Champions League. It don't happen.
No. But you've got Johnny Evans, Joe.
He's the best. He's our best centre-back.
Johnny Evans for Manchester United.
My wife laughs all the time. I go, we've got to keep Johnny Evans. He's you know, he was retired, but he's ended up, you know, playing 25 games last year and probably being the most consistent defender. And I think that just shows the transfer policies and the players that have come in. That there's nothing wrong with Martinez. He's probably been the better performing centre back over the last 3 seasons. But what I'm saying is, no one wins the Premier League with that size centre back. It don't happen. It hasn't happened. Look at the best ones: Van Dijk, John Terry, Rio, Vidic. You know, you have to have a certain size because the Premier League is physical. And eventually, you're like in the halfway line yesterday, you'll get caught.
Yeah, oh, you will, absolutely. For a last couple of comments on the goal. Sorry, it's the 27th, Man United West Ham. So that's going to be You listen to this, Joe, right? So the parents, right? They're going on holiday, right? I'm not going. I'm not invited, right? Yeah, first time I ain't been invited. I've been struck off. It's cheaper. They're going away. I've had my fair share. I'm not going to.
Where they going?
On a cruise to, I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to.
Beautiful. That'll be beautiful.
Yeah, brilliant. I might have to. Well, to be fair, if we keep playing like this, I won't be looking to go up there to that because Man United will still probably beat us. But
I don't know. I think that'll be a good game. To be fair, probably around that time it'll be like middle of the table clash, wouldn't it?
How sad's that?
Yeah,
yeah, how sad's that? See, Terry says, regular viewer, I'll happily cough up some dough to play with Joe and chuck in a 3S. And Terry's a seasoned golfer. He's pretty,
All right. So Terry can give me some tips.
Yeah, I'll give you tips. He's given me some tips. I ain't got me nowhere, but it has.
Didn't give it a go with me.
And I reckon you've win. Well, I don't really understand how it works, the whole golf points thing, but like there's been a little bit of controversy at the golf days the last couple of years. Fun controversy.
People cheating.
Well, bending the sort of handicap. I don't know how it works.
Yeah. So they get more points. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that
So there's some booing every now and then, but it's all good fun.
Same person wins every year, same team.
No comment. Imagine playing golf on a work day. I mean, yeah, who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it? Spurs smashed Man United. They did. Was men against boys. Absolutely. Mum said not to invite you, Jake. Right. Yeah. If I believe that, I'll believe anything. Right.
But they deserve it. Huh? They deserve it. You're older now. I'm sure you'll have fun when they're away.
Look, Sharky, throw a hat. I mean, guys, you're supposed to be, giving me some experienced sort of,
Yeah, throw a party. That's my experience. Throw a party.
Yeah, cheers, Joe. Thanks, that'll go down well. But West Ham, Joe. I mean, you mentioned David Moyes there. It was the right time for him to depart. Do you want him back in Man United? By the way, you can have him if you like.
No. Well, we might. Well. Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, I think I would.
How do you see? I mean, we've signed some good players on paper, but it hasn't gone together well yet.
I think it's early. So I think what you just said there is right. Signed a lot of players, good players on paper. But I think the change from David to the new manager, I think it's going to take time.
Yeah,
I think the style of play. Sorry, my phone's just pinging. I'm just going to put it on silent. The style of play, the players reacting to a new manager, maybe the language barrier.
There's lots of different, things that come into. I mean, it's a shift as well from Moyes to this, new management. We've had Moyes for 4.5 years, and that change. A lot of new players, a lot of old ones as well, but a lot of new players coming in.
But sometimes the problem can be the old players are so used to managing for 4 years that someone comes in and don't like the ideas. They struggle to fit into the new system. They fight it. I don't. To be honest, the core at West Ham, I don't see being like that. They're not the type of players you see being a problem. I don't think. Antonio's, Bowen. I don't think you see them being that person that's a pain in the arse because a new manager comes in. I think that they work hard at West Ham. When I watch them, I don't think the work rate is the problem. I think when and I haven't watched that many West Ham games this year, but the ones I've watched, I think there seems to be a bit of holes in the shape going backwards, and getting caught.
Absolutely.
And maybe as well. I think David worked on set pieces, crossing, getting in the box, that type of possession football in the final third, and where it changes, you get to score your goals from different roles, and I think that takes time. And then maybe the players, more players come in January. West Ham will be fine. The thing for West Ham, and every year I think it. You look at it from from the outside, the size of the club, the support is unbelievable, as we all know. I mean, you could probably get 100,000 in that, and they fill it. Yeah. Financially, it's a strong club in the new rules. For example, they're spending money. They don't oversell. They've had to sell players that want to leave, but he's kept the midfielder when City come in for him.
Yeah,
and you just think every year, go on, like
push on, because Spurs are doing it. And when you look at the two clubs, you go, not a lot in there. Do you know what I mean? There's not a lot in difference size-wise. Spurs' training ground's better, but capacity, stadium, wage budgets, transfer fees, not a lot in it. West Ham are probably 18 months behind where Spurs are at. Yeah.
Is in players coming in and out because they've had a better last 10 years. But if they just get that, those 2-3 that just click, get to the next level, then you get another 2 or 3, and then you're in.
Absolutely.
Villa have done it.
Villa, yeah, perfect example. Yeah.
And those Spurs have been doing it for a little while, really, there or thereabouts. But it's time for West Ham to push into that top 6, top 4, hopefully, at some point in the near future.
Hope so. Well, I mean, the most interesting part of that is it took 28 minutes for your phone to ping. I mean, such a popular man. I mean, that can't be right, surely. And maybe it was, Nicole said, "Stop talking about me on there. You come off. He's talking about."
I think she's upstairs having a bath. I think. Well, I bet she's watching.
I very highly doubt she is. Lopetegui or Ten Hag, who gets a sack first, lads? Oh, sir. I'm going to say Ten Hag because I do think he will get sacked. I think
that, initially you think that, but the thing is with David Sullivan and that group, they do get rid of a manager, don't they? He's not worried about. He's not shy, is he, of getting rid of the gaffer? Yeah. I would say at the minute Ten Hag is slippery ground. It's just who do you replace him with?
Exactly. There's such a shortage of decent, good, effective managers out there. Finding a good one, you've got to put some real work into it. Even Brighton do it. Yet to see whether this new man they've brought in that's like 31 or something is going to be any good. But they find these gems, whether it's players or managers. Whereas it just seems like big clubs go, right, let's have a look who's available. Oh, there's a big name there. We'll have a look at him, and then job done.
It's like you. It's like whoever's fashionable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And not quite what the fans want, I don't think. And it comes on to that really interesting insight, Joe, on West Ham and Man United. Will be interesting. 27th of October. See what happens between the two sides, and then we go to Old Trafford for our annual 1-0 defeat at Man United, which happens every year. We play, actually we lost 3-0 last year, which was even worse. We always go out there. I've been up there the last 3 years. We've played okay, much better than games we've won in the past, and we always lose. And it always aggravates me. I don't know why. Something about that place, it just aggravates me, Joe. I don't know why.
I think historically, when you were growing up, when you were younger, they won all the time, didn't they?
Exactly.
I think most people from between mine and your generation will not like Man United or Chelsea or Arsenal, because my 2 teams I don't like are Arsenal and Chelsea. I can't help it.
Fair enough.
I want them to lose every week. I think because when I was playing, I think they were the 2 teams we had to beat. But I suppose most people have enjoyed Man United. The thing is, for me, I love football. I'll go and watch any club. My 2 clubs are West Ham and Man United, and for obvious reasons. I got brought up with my dad playing at Man United, and then him playing at West Ham and me playing at West Ham. So, I'm conflicted with that game, but I'll enjoy watching the game. I love watching football. Whatever the result, it's only football. My life, life does continue on the day after, and I've still got to, get up and go to work. I can't worry laying in bed because West Ham beat Man United or Man United beat West Ham. But it's a great thing about the Premier League and a great thing about football that we can all talk about it.
That's brilliant. A fantastic mindset to have about it as well. Tracy, I'd like Graham Potter. I think he's on Monday night. I think he's the guest on Monday Night Football tonight, actually, for the rip roar in Southampton versus Bournemouth that kicks off in 25 minutes. So yeah, that's another name that's out of a job at the moment. Jake, you going to Ipswich game? We're not. I'm hoping that it's become a 6-pointer, really. Ipswich unbeaten in 4 now after their draw with Champions League Aston Villa at the weekend. Wow. It's not looking great. It's not looking great.
Graham Potter's a great shout for West Ham, isn't he?
It is, Graham Potter, yeah.
It's great. What I am hearing in the football football whispers is that Gareth Southgate will get the Man United job. Now I think that would be a disaster.
So do I. Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Wow, you had it here first, eh? Right, last couple of comments. Hammer the like button. I see what you did there, Terry. If you can please, check out DT38.org. All the information there. Joe's spoken eloquently and at length tonight about the importance of the charity, and he's done it much better than I can because he's experienced what Dylan's journey with him as well, and that's everything to do with that. You can find that information at DT38.org. Whether you just raise awareness yourself, whether you can provide some money for vital fundraising, it'd be greatly appreciated. Any help, and check out the documentary. It's coming on Wednesday, which describes Dylan's story and the importance of raising awareness for testicular cancer. Potter for me too, please. There's a couple of agreements with Graham Potter potentially. Now here's another debacle, right? Is Jake going to Spurs? Currently not. Right? Spurs away a couple of weeks' time. We have one ticket. I was going to have it. Oh no, Dad, I'm going to have it now.
Have you been to that stadium yet?
Yeah, twice, lost both times.
I've not been there. The stadium is meant to be incredible, though, is it?
It is good. The whole facilities, as much as I hate to say it, the away end, the space, everything about it. The atmosphere has been great. It's been okay, but yeah, just like the concourse and everything. You can tell it's the most modern Premier League ground. It's good. So currently, no, I'm not going to Spurs, Dad, as you well know, which is annoying me. But I'm sure I'll be there. Sure I'll be there. Yeah, Sharky, gonna watch documentary. I'd urge you, if you see it pop up, give it a watch. Here we go. What's this? I've got a ticket, Joe. If you want it, Joe, do you want to go? Because everyone else is going bar me.
I'll go with your dad. Yeah, I'll go to Tottenham.
Fantastic, brilliant. Right.
I've not been to the new Tottenham Stadium. I mean, I'll go.
Joe, thank you very much indeed. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. A good laugh, as always. And as you said before we came on air, we haven't done this for a while. And you asked me whether I started shaving or not. Them downstairs, I'll say no. He doesn't do it enough, right?
This is like me. You end up like me.
Nothing wrong with that. Joe, pleasure as always. Thank you very much, Derby, for getting involved in the chat as well. Until the next one, we're going to start building up to that big Ipswich game at the weekend. We really need a result and a performance. Joe, thank you very much.
No problem, mate. Speak to you later.
See you soon. Bye-bye.